Matt, I wondered if you could just kind of give me your assessment of the whole organization's coaching staff, players, personnel, job of problem solving this year. Okay, whether it be the offensive line, you had some special teams protection issues, got that figured out. Some coverage things, you got that figured out. Can you just give me how you think you've done in solving problems with this team all year?
Yeah, I'd say pretty well. I think that's part of the process each and every year is you're going to have things are going to come up each and every week, each and every game, really every day. And that's what you're constantly trying to get in front of so that you guys don't see the problems. But there's always going to be things you have to work through, and that's just part of the process. That's why you put in the time, the effort, the work, all the energy into it each and every day, each and every week.
MK Burgess.
Coach, I asked Devontae and Aaron about this yesterday. Ford Field's been a little bit of an issue with the Packers in the past, starting slow. What is the mental note to the team about making sure you guys get off to a good start against a team that wants to end on a high note?
Yeah, I think it's just an awareness. That's something that we preach. We know our past there, and it's always been quite a challenge. But I think a lot of it has to do with just how Detroit's played us over the years. It's not necessarily been just in Detroit. I'd say it's always a competitive game. We know it, and we got to prepare to the best of our ability, like we do each and every game.
Mike Spofford.
Hey, Matt, for a couple years, we talked obviously a lot about Preston and Za'Darius as a tandem. What's your sense of Preston and Rashawn as a tandem collectively, like what they bring as a pair to your defense?
Yeah, I think they've been doing an outstanding job. I think when you look at it, just the effort that you're seeing from both those guys has been outstanding. Obviously, RG, from the moment he's gotten into this league, you could see him just go, and he shuts his mind off, and he just goes 100 miles an hour on every snap. But you see it every day in practice as well. And I think P's done a heck of a job. And I think I mentioned the play from last game where he was chasing down Bradbury on that play. But I think P's really brought his game to a new level, and I think he's being more physical than he was maybe a year ago, and just playing with great effort. I think he's in good shape, and he's being really productive. So we're really happy with just how both of those guys are playing. They're kind of the tone setters to our defense, because anytime you have a pass rush, it elevates the play of everybody around you. And so those guys are obviously just really great off the edge, and we're fortunate to have two guys like that.
Rob Domofsky.
Hey, Matt, real quick, just wanted to ask how Dave got through yesterday and what the plan is going forward, and then I wanted to ask you something about Jordan after that.
Yeah, no problem. Dave had a great work yesterday, and just part of our plan was to have him go yesterday. Today he'll condition, and then we'll have him back out there tomorrow.
And then if I could, the last time Jordan played, obviously in Kansas City, he hadn't had all those number one reps, for weeks that he's gotten now that, with Aaron rehabbing the toe. Where is he better right now than he was going into that game?
I would say in every facet of just understanding what we're trying to get accomplished on each and every play. I think the consistency with his footwork, because I always think footwork is the foundation of good quarterback play, and how you let your feet take you through your reads and making sure that your eyes match your footwork. And so I just think that those are valuable reps that he's been able to get during practice, and hopefully that translates if he gets an opportunity to play.
Wes Hodkwitz.
Hey, Matt, looking at Chandon a little bit, with some of the shakeups there were with the secondary throughout the course of the year, how important has he been in that nickel role and just kind of the stability he's sort of added there throughout the course of the year?
Yeah, I think Sully's another guy that's played really consistent. He's got just a great feel for the position. He understands what we're trying to get accomplished. He's very consistent, and just very smart, instinctive player.
Cody Krupp.
Hey, Coach, just to kind of follow up on Rob's question, do you feel like David is still on a track that he could get a couple reps on Sunday?
I think we'll get through Friday and see where we're at on Saturday and potentially make that call then.
Tom Silverstein.
Hey, Matt, don't know when you're going to pull Rodgers, assuming you are at some point during that game, but do you want to give Jordan Love a good script of plays where you can see what, he can really do instead of just, handing off like he normally does at the end of a game?
Yeah, I think it's all just where we are in the game, what the situation is, what the score is, and, kind of let it unfold naturally.
Ryan Wood.
I'm going to ask the follow-up to Dave a different way and maybe get the same exact answer from you. But if he is able to come out of that plan in a good spot and in good shape, would the next plan then be for him to play? Is that he just needs to get through that and then he'll be able to play?
Yeah, I think that's part of the discussion.
Fair enough.
Aaron Nagler.
Coach, what have you learned throughout this season that maybe you didn't know about yourself as a coach, given all the adversity you've faced injury-wise?
That I didn't know about myself, that I'm surrounded by a bunch of really good coaches and players. That makes it just alleviates so much stress when you trust everybody around you. And I trust our staff. I trust our guys. They've proven it. I would say that the things that we didn't know probably was to the level of the depth that we've had on this football team, especially when you look at just how, I would say, decimated we've gotten up front. But it seems to me that no matter whose number's called, no matter what position it's at, guys have done a great job, and that speaks to the coaching they're getting. It speaks to their preparation and how serious they take it on a daily basis, and having that mindset that I've got to prepare like I'm the starter, because you just never know when your opportunity is going to be called upon, and you better take advantage of it. Otherwise, you typically don't last very long in this league. So I just think it's a credit to all our guys.
Any other questions for Coach? Hold on, one more. Go ahead, Mike Clemens.
Matt, yesterday the comment about a meaningless game, I thought about Jordan getting in with the final 7 minutes of the Vikings game. This is a rare opportunity for a lot of your younger players to get into this, to get some snaps, right? And is that something you and Brian talk about, a specific list of players you'd like to see out there?
We haven't, because we're despite what I would say that the public opinion is, it's not a meaningless game. I told you guys exactly what we told our players. We want to keep the momentum going, and so you have to approach it like you do every other game, because if you don't go out there and play your best, you're going to get your butt whooped. We saw it a couple weeks ago. Detroit destroyed Arizona, and they beat Minnesota right at the end of the game. And you just look at how they played at home. Outside of, I know there was the Cincinnati and Philly games, but if you look at how they battled and came back in week 1 versus San Francisco 49ers, and they had Baltimore on the ropes. So this is a team that plays well at home. I know they're going to be highly motivated to give us everything they have. And so our guys are going to prepare as such, like they would every other week.
Tom Silverstein.
Hey, Matt, any additions or subtractions to the COVID list?
No, Tom, there was none today, thankfully.
Anything
No one
else?
taken off, though?
Not today. I think we're going to get a couple guys back tomorrow and on Saturday as well.